test 1 2 1 2. 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 Here we go. Just gotta make sure there's not an echo since I'm listening through my speakers and using my webcam mic. Testing. Dune Atreides. Dune Spice Wars. Alright, so this is the Bizzle. This is the wait, let me just tell the Discord I just went live. This is probably gonna get a bunch of people telling me that I'm terrible at the game, which is kind of great. Let's see, will it load? Will it load the? Gotta do the full HTTPS. All right, here we go. So, let me just open sound settings, turn up microphone. Oh yeah, it was way down. Way down. So I'm gonna try and feed in a decent amount of sound. I guess my camera's a little, I always kind of lean up a little bit. Should go low rider on the chair. Okay, so I've started this game a lot of times. I love the look. I love Dune. I love how thematic it is. But I finally started to do a playthrough and did like 3 hours on my first playthrough. Oh, readjustment on the mic. And it was super fun, but I wasn't so grabbed. And then between my StarCraft streams, and I've been streaming Homeworld, Deserts of Karak, and some other stuff, I just haven't gotten back to Spice Wars. And it still feels a little rough to me, and it still feels a little empty to me. I just don't know how long it's going to be in early access, but there's enough good things going. However, that being said, first of all, yeah, this is Arakeen. It took forever to actually become a fully active city, which is just hold on one sec, folks. Just a nice little touch, you know, that in this alternate version of the Carinos and the Atreides and so forth, you know, it kind of simulates that when they arrived in Arakeen, it had been stripped by the Harkonnens, you know, everything stolen, even like, you know, the gold toilet seats are taken, everything else. All right, but a couple things. This is my first game. I don't actually remember selecting easy. But apparently easy was selected, and it is so far, economically speaking, much easier than, say, you know, even like Civilization 6, say what you will, but, you know, 3 or 4 notches of difficulty up, you know, you're immediately getting bombarded by barbarians and everyone hates you from the beginning, you have nowhere to settle, blah, blah, blah. So, I read some tips. Okay, so here's my empire. Here's the Atreides Empire. So I read some tips before. And here's the Carinos. Here's the Imperial Basin. Or what, you know, whatever it's called. this is all still locals here. I'm scanning here for the first time. This appears to be, yeah, so here's Carino. So, anyways, I mean, I don't know where the smugglers are, really. They're somewhere here. Here's some Fremen, and this is because I did some research on one of the Sietches, and I also have this probe that can reveal all information and units in the region for, you know, spending a certain amount of, I don't know, authority maybe. There's a lot of resources in this game. And while it took me a while to get going in terms of catching up, and I thought maybe easy would not be that easy, I'm still trying to figure out the date system. I don't know if this started in 10-100, and it goes days, months, year. I, of course, will be comparing this to all the Paradox games, especially Stellaris, which is the one by far I've played the more, with the stop-start system, and you can speed up time and stop time, and so forth. But it was actually me trying to revisit Stellaris recently, which I've put 300 hours into. But each time I come back to it, I'm sort of less and less interested in going through it again, and it just remains confusing and unclear even when you play it a lot. To put it another way, it makes the interaction of the economy and what's going on around the galaxy much more complicated than it needs to be. And so you end up spending a lot more brain power than you should for a game that keeps getting more and more complicated, but at its core is extremely simple. And adding more resources and numbers isn't helping the situation. And so then I jumped back to Dune here, and we'll go over my situation. I'm like, you know what? This is very reminiscent with all the different supplies. You know, you got your base currencies, you got manpower related stuff, fuel, water, authority, Landsred, which is the council of all the houses and the powers, guild favor, which is the spacing guild, the hegemony, which is rule over Dune, so, you know, you can see that most of the map's taken. It's not a huge map. There's not a lot to take without going in the deep desert, but sorry guys, mic's still too loud. But there's a lot of reasons to not do that yet. Now, one of the tips I read, I tried to get non-spoiler tips. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 8 or 9 villages, plus the capital, and then buildings all over these villages. I love how they show the resources being generated at each village, and you can turn it off easily if you want to. Most things are cyclable. Now, some things are only cyclable from the tactical map or the overhead view or whatever you want to call it. But, you know, it's easy enough to switch between the two. You know, like Stellaris. But unlike Stellaris, where you have these beautiful star systems and gorgeous spaceships with these epic battles, you spend almost all your time in the space version of this tactical map. And just because you have so much to deal with. But because this is a much smaller land area, you know, they're clearly trying to make these games not go 20, 30, 50 hours if you don't want to. And I did about 3 hours on my first stream, and then I've played maybe an hour to an hour and a half on my own since then, just to see if I could rejuvenate my memory and then get the stream going. But I'll try to say this for the third time. one of the tips man, this mic just keeps overloading. All right. Let us try the actual mic. I'm not sure how this is going to work with the speakers, but we can try. I keep it close. Test, test, test. Oh, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Okay. We will try this. All right, so. Fourth attempt. One of the early tips I read that stuck with me was, even though the world map is relatively small compared to games like Civilization or Stellaris, at least what I'm on now. I guess everything was normal, medium, or whatever. So this is a medium map. It's not very big by those standards. So it's tempting to expand even faster in a game like this and just try and conquer everything. At least, you know, in sort of early runs of the game. Just go straight aggro. But what's cool is the villages, but also the regions that they're in, which is not the same as the village territory. It's a little hard to learn, and I definitely built some buildings in some wrong places before understanding this. Resources that are listed here. So I have 3 spice harvesters going right now, and while I only have, and this is the other thing I love, is they limit your harvesters, ornithopters, and military. Now you can increase this with buildings, but you know, I'm well into the mid game, at least I think, at my first run through here, with 7 troops, 5 ornithopters, but 3 of them are just directly monitoring harvesters to give me even a better chance. Like, I haven't gotten hit by a sandworm yet. I'm sure even with close monitoring and auto recall, when there's worm sign or whatever, you know, I probably would have lost some of those battles and will lose them because I'll be sure playing on a harder level in my next run. I'm also going to play the Fremen, which I've been holding off on. But everyone says start with the Harkonnens or the Atreides. I hate the Harkonnens. And I like the idea of doing this diplomatically. And what's cool is political and hegemony are both kind of political goals. It's just that one is with hegemony on the planet of Dune itself, which is represented, again, by this world map, which I can see because I've done great scouting, but also I have a probe that I can pay a certain amount of something every once in a while. Part of one of many issues that needs to be corrected is that sometimes you don't get to see the resources something costs until it's too late. I don't need a full undo button, but like a warning before, you know, doing certain things, or a little bit more description would be helpful. But anyways, I definitely am trying to achieve a political victory. And the political victory has to do with what's called the Landsraad Council. So when you read the books, you know what the Landsraad Council is. Now, I don't want to turn this into a Dune book discussion or Dune lore, but what's really interesting is we've only seen with the new movie the first half of the first book. And all these really cool Dune video games and board games, Dune Imperium, there's some other ones out, even the original Dune classic game from like the 70s that they've reprinted, that's super awesome. This game is super cool. They've got like a Dune RPG or MMO or something coming out. I forget the name of it. But anyways, by the end of Dune, the first book, Dune, and certainly by the end, for sure at the end of the second book, Dune Messiah, when, spoiler alert, the Messiahhood is in full bloom, but it is being used by the Fremen to go from being an oppressed desert people on the brink of death both from their environment and the evil people ruling over them, to a jihad against the entire galaxy. They call it a jihad, and the most powerful force. And, the Fremens are all the top soldiers. They're all the top advisors. Obviously, Stilgar, again, if you like Javier Bardem as much as I do, you'll be thrilled to know that Stilgar will be around for a few more movies, assuming we get those movies. But anyways, all this stuff with all these different houses, and they're going to add more houses to this game, it ends basically by the end of the first Dune book because, spoiler again, Paul becomes emperor. I won't say how it happens, just in case you've read the book and are going to see the movie. But if you don't see that coming, they basically showed it with his future visions in the first movie and the clips you see in the second movie. It's going to happen. It's just a matter of how. The Fremen are involved and whatever. By the way, Christopher Walken as the Emperor, brilliant casting. I know some people aren't sure about it, but trust me, the Emperor is a character that actually doesn't get that much face time in the books, and we more hear about him than we experience him. So if you're going to make him a major character, which is great because Irulan, his daughter, the princess, who he wants to marry to whoever is going to be the most favored house, blah, 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 and have a real father-daughter weird relationship, emperor and princess, it's going to be great. I think as much as the fact that Zendaya and Bardem are full leads with Jessica and Paul, with Timothée Chalamet and Rebecca Ferguson, they're the big four in what's coming with the story. Obviously, it was revealed that Josh Brolin, Gurney Halleck is still alive. Some are still, Visor's still alive. Some are dead. And now Paul's going in the desert with his mom. But while we will spend time with Christopher Walken as the Emperor and his daughter, Princess Irulan, and we will spend time, obviously, with the Harkonnen, with Skarsgård and Drax and so forth, the major part of the story is about Paul becoming more and more Fremen, and the Fremen adopting him in what seems like a old school colonialist, white man's burden, white man becomes the god messiah figure with all these brown people. It's actually way more complicated than that, and he is the Fremen use him as their tool. It's complicated. Let's just say that, the poor brown desert people, it's none of the stereotypes you're thinking. And anything you're thinking about, whether it's Lawrence of Arabia or Rudyard Kipling or whatever with this sort of thing, this is a commentary and a deconstruction of that entire way of thinking. I'll just leave it at that. But while the action is going to be great in the second movie, I'll get back to the game. Just tease a little movie talk. The politics are going to be even better. And they better get it in because all of this goes away and there's a whole new political order. So Dune Spice Wars and all of these board games that take place, in the period, the sort of hypothetical period leading up to the first book and during the first book, you can't do a sequel to this without completely changing the game. It would be a totally new game. So, back to the Landsred here. This is the council of the major houses, the minor houses, the smugglers are represented. In the game, the Fremen are represented, but they have no votes, at least at the moment. And while they can have some influence, they're definitely not at the table in the book, but they had to do this because they're a faction in the game, even though they function differently. The smugglers would not be here officially, although they do influence both the Landsred and Choam, which is the giant, so Landsred's the mega galactic political council, but just like in real life, while these politicians and the Emperor and so forth are very powerful, the real power behind it all is Choam. Which is, basically the conglomeration of all the corporations involved in the spice trade. And since spice is by far the most valuable and important resource in the galaxy and so rare, everything comes based on price of and availability of spice. And that's something that actually gets more complicated and more interesting as the books go along, is what happens to the spice at different periods in Dune's history as it takes time jumps at certain points. But right now, it's only on Arrakis. It has something to do with the worms. You know, Liet Kynes and a few people know, and the Fremen understand where it comes from. The white people, the houses, the colonialists, the imperialists, are clueless. So while the houses sit on the Landsraad Council and are running for governorship, who's governor right now? It's a little hard to... let's see. I need 450 standing for governorship. Allows the reroll of one resolution at start of each council. Oh, these are things I can buy. I'm almost at 250. Allows the training of a judge. Holder is immune to the negative effects of resolution modifier. That's really cool. +1 Solari per positive water. That's okay, but I have way more Solari than water at the moment. I'm not hurting for it because I am actively, heavily mining 3 spice fields. And so I totally ignored one of the big pieces of advices was which I read before I started getting into this game, which is actually don't expand fast, build tall, not wide. But I can't help myself when there's so much available territory. And at least for now, I'm not experiencing negatives for too much Empire expansion, which is an annoying part of Stellaris, even though it may or may not be accurate. But there it's intergalactic, so you could see how Empire sprawl in the galaxy, but spreading out and getting more territory on a relatively small area of a small planet that's habitable at all on Arrakis, Dune, it makes sense to me to expand, and playing on an easier level, I haven't suffered too much other than just some barbarians, just some criminals attacking me at my cities. And the game does not give you great warning when you're being attacked, or maybe any warning. I mean, there's some huge things, like my key bindings aren't being saved. I asked this on Steam. Is anyone going to answer this for me? No one on I said Steam on Discord, excuse me. No one on Discord is answer my question about why it's changing my key bindings back. So anyways, just think of Game of Thrones, but in addition to the 7 major houses, or however many major houses there are in Dune at this point, and then you have a king, or here an emperor, who does come from one of the houses, specifically the Carino house. And if you'll look on the Landsraad Council, at the moment, the Carinos have 120 votes to my 100, but I'm sitting on a lot more influence, and while I'm not sure how much they're making per month, they definitely don't have as much influence as me. And we're going to talk about that in a second, because I want to take over one more area, and you can either take it by force, which has ups and downs, or you can spend influence, but it's very expensive influence, and I want the influence to be able to influence the votes in the council, because you're voting up to 3 things each time, and then you've got these charters. Okay, the last charter, which I'm almost at, also get 2 extra agents with a special council trait. Probe setup is free, faster, and cannot trigger an agent's capture. I did not know that probe setup could do that, actually. Could trigger an agent's capture, because the game doesn't do a good job of telling me that. And then, of course, with way more Landsraad standing, I wish I could make these windows stay open so I could use the mouse, but nope. You can see how at the bottom there by the diamond have 230 of 450 Landsraad standing. Here's my Landsraad standing, but I'm getting +15 per council, which is like every 30 days, and I'm at 230 compared to 245 to Carino and the Smugglers, which is much closer than I was. If I'm going to win politically in this way by having the highest Landsraad standing, I'm going to need to step up my game a little bit. But at the moment, I'm actually ahead by hegemony. So this is where you vote for stuff and where you vote for governors. The last council, I got what I wanted. More Solari per controlled village, which was great, because I just got straight up cash. Even though I was earning, between 40 and 80 gold per month or per period or whatever, now I just only have $3,000 I'm sitting on with a positive flow. I have a huge stockpile of over 100 spice, and so I can afford to give almost twice what's being asked for by the Emperor, giving way more than required. I don't have to, like paying taxes. I'm voluntarily paying more, and the imperial satisfaction keeps going up. It's gone from 0.0 to 0.4, which is actually quite a lot. And it's because of the exchange rate having to do with how much spice I'm selling to them for straight cash. You don't want to flood the market, but they're the ones who are controlling the market because they're the mega corporation that spans the galaxy or whatever. This number here shows you the how much you're going to end up paying, and this circle shows the tax cycle, which is, I guess, 30 days, which is the main thing. And the color of it, the more green it is, the more certain it is statistically that regardless of what happens on the board, so I'm pretty green here, with me paying so much in stocks, being way ahead of quota, and Choam, the big capitalist head honchos, being happy with me and so forth, with my imperial satisfaction. It says imperial satisfaction in the Choam. That's great. It's not even hiding the fact that the Emperor and the mega corporation organization are basically one and the same. And so that's the thing the Emperor gets over just the normal House Lords, is the Lords sit in the Landsrat, and while they can affect Choam, the super mega corporation, I don't know what to even call it anymore. You know what I mean? It's the global capitalist secret council, but on a galactic level. But the Emperor has a lot more effect on that. He has more effect on the Spacing Guild. So I got a bunch I have way more villages than them, so that was great. I didn't want to lose Landsrad standing, because while it would hurt everybody, I don't want to lose, it would help reset things a little bit, but at this point, I just want to gain it. And if I can stop the Krinos and the smugglers who are slightly ahead of me and bring them back, great, but this just didn't seem worth it. And then the smugglers, and then there's one you vote on which just affects one nation, or one group, one house, whatever. And this one was enemy military units within this faction borders give -10 influence protection to their owner. So we all voted apparently against the smugglers. Carino only won. The Carino almost escaped this vote by one. I didn't have that many votes for me to be the one. So right now people are pretty happy with me, is what it's saying. The council seems pretty happy with me. I think I have a non-aggression pact, or it's coming soon, with the Carinos. Yes, I have a truce with them.
How is Arrakis treating you?
I don't know much about the Fremen, and I don't know too much about the smugglers, other than we can trade. But part of that is because, so the Landsrat is the political council with all the votes. So who's the governor right now? Or is this staying governor for 30 days results in a political victory? Okay, we don't have a governor, I guess. And there's about to be a new council coming. So I still have 100 votes. They can be allocated. Influence, unlike votes, is lost when used. Right. So you can go over the number of votes that you have by using influence. So what's cool is you have all these resources, but they can be utilized in a bunch of different ways. And that's interesting. However, that being said, by somewhat subconsciously expanding super fast, not realizing how fast I was expanding, and this could come back to bite me, even on the easier level, I hit a hegemony. The Carinos, which is the Emperor's house, started obviously way on top in this field. But the smugglers and the Fremen have both made gains, and now the Fremen are actually the biggest threat to me in terms of hegemony, which is really interesting. I have an alliance with Carino, but they have well less. So my house without Carino helps me politically on the big galactic scale because it's the Emperor's family. But it's not helping me on Dune right now. And so I'm wondering whether I need to make a move to either politically via espionage or militarily bring the Fremen down, or because I keep fulfilling my spice contract. I have 8 controlled regions, which is another reason to keep conquering. I have 2 special regions. So by conquering all this land, obviously it's going to give me good hegemony. Okay, is there a way to see their various levels of stuff? There's like a lot of stuff like this that's hard to tell. So there's my land. Okay, guild favor. It has to do with this deployment of spaceships. So far, I'm not using shuttles or spaceships because I don't really understand the building of airfields. But if I'm going to be going to war at some point, and I think that war is going to come against the Fremen over here, I'm going to have to start building at some point. Authority has to do with leadership. I'm only getting 6.5 a month, but I don't spend that much. The administrative hall is a building that gives it to you, your main base, and then your agents. Okay, why does it say 1.0 for my agents? So then you have spying. So you've got the big capitalist organization CHOAM, you got the big political oligarchy in the galaxy, the Landsrad Council, which is going to be happening soon. And then here is, this is called spying logistic, but this is actually researching technology. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know why it says spy. Let's see, spying logistic, 200% agent recruitment speed, unlocks intelligence agents building. Right, so this just must be a benefit. I'm not sure why it's connected to my research projects. Okay, but here's the espionage screen. So my agents are coming less than 1 per month period, which isn't great, but I got to 4 really quickly. And because I wanted to increase my standing in the Landsrad Council, I wanted to... I'm actively not spying on any of the 3 other major powers, the smugglers, the Fremen, the Krino / the Emperor's house. I do have one in Arrakis, which is good because it gives me authority and some intel, but more so, there's discoveries all over the place. And while you can scan some with the ornithopters, sometimes you got to send a real special agent to research it, and you get really big discoveries about the map. I've compared this. I compared this during my first playthrough and talking to people online who play it to the game Endless Legend, which is a Grey 4X game from about 10 years ago. But it's actually, in some ways, at least as similar to the Age of Wonders games. I mostly played Age of Wonders 3, which was 10 years ago. Age of Wonders 4 is out as of a few months ago. I watched gameplay. It looks beautiful. It looks great, actually. But the way that these agents are sort of like heroes, I mean, it's not super RPG-y. And at the moment, they don't even gain experience and special traits like your leaders, scientists, commanders, admirals, and so forth in Stellaris. Nevertheless, they allow you to do, let's call them event or RPG-esque activities on the planet. Okay, so in a minute we're going to go back and try and discover whether whether I should be using 3 of my 4 agents at the Landsrad, including filling it up, but I'm leveling up in Landsrad. I'm at 2. Each agent increases max level and speed of increase. So this will get me up to level 4 at least. And they're each giving me +1 influence, which is leading to +3, which is half of my total influence per period. And +1 intel, which I'm only getting 4.2. So almost all my intel is coming from there. I'm getting 1 authority and 1 intel from my Arrakis agent. They do have a special, by the way, I should say, power under their name, where it says ASA Engineer. Plascrete global production increased by 2% per information level. Okay, what's information? I forget. Is that my research? That's knowledge. Vote, influence, agent, intel. So wait, so what's current Arrakis information level 1? There's intel stock. Okay, so what is information? This should be obvious, Bizzle. Authority, Landsrad, guild favor, hegemony, knowledge. There really are too many things, but it makes sense for Dune that there would be this much going on, actually. Intel. So what is information? Allows you to lock information levels. Is that from my development screen? I'm not really clear. Here's the missions you can do. I had an opportunity to assassinate at some point. Oh. Let's talk. Current Arrakis information level 1. Okay. This just means, yeah, it's just, they shouldn't even need to explain this. It just means you start leveling, essentially. Okay. So, you know, I'm already at level 1. I'm not going to get past level 1 super fast because I don't have additional agents for speed increase. I don't even know if it'll let me go to level 2 unless I add more agents. But at the moment, it's enough to explore one project at a time on the planet. Now, let me show you the planet. So, even though you start with Arrakeen under your control... Sorry, let me just adjust the sound a tiny bit here. Test. Okay. I forget what I started with ultimately, but it was 1 or 2 villages, maybe. Let's see, I have a heavy weapon squad here. So, okay. So I have 3 troopers. I have a ranger, which I built. And I have 3 heavy weapon squad. I did temporarily, because of weird vote at the Landsrad Council, get some, like, Imperial soldiers, basically. But then they disappeared. So these are all theoretically loyal to me. And just like they limit the number of spots you have, you gotta build barracks to maybe get more spots. It's command post. Base plus 40 armies. Right. So I need to do something to increase number of army if I want to. But right now I only have trooper, basic melee, ranger, basic range, heavy weapon, disruption, range attacks applied, disrupted, X, which stacks 5 times till end of combat, 5% damage received. So you stacks with ranged. And so they can do melee, but they suffer stuff. So they're better rangers, basically. Although, why? So wait, they're only 7.4, but rangers are 15.8? That doesn't make any sense. This must be the heavy weapon squad. Okay, so they do have more defense and more health, more hit points. Oh, here's the key. Demolition. Range attacks deal damage in a moderate area. So they have splash damage. So yeah, it's weird that it's real-time combat in a game like this. But again, on this relatively easy level, hasn't been any challenging. Like, I don't know if you even micro units in this game. Range attacks have 30% chance to destroy armor, which is great because armor is you only have a few points of it, but it's very valuable in strategy games, almost across the board. 100% damage against flying units. Okay, so I might not need... I don't know if that's just ornithopters. I guess, no, that also is going to include... Right, okay. Okay, so here's also what I'm eligible to build right now. Theoretically, but I need Spacing Guild branch, Call to Arms. Okay, what's Call to Arms? Call to Arms is a technology. Okay, so I need to do that in order to... What am I researching now? New Homeland? That's not what I want to be researching. Oh, no, I stopped New Homeland. Right, I want Spying Logistics and then Negotiation Tactics. Yeah, I'm trying to fill out the Lancerad stuff so I can still pursue the political goal as Atreides, which is sort of what they're meant to do. So Call to Arms I need. Okay, that unlocks the Warden unit. So the Warden unit has 18 damage, but 8 armor. And nearby military units gain +2 armor. which I guess is cool. I guess if you have a bunch of lower armor units, but they're all pretty low. I don't know. Oh, I do have support drone, which I should build at least one of these. And I have tons of gold now, so why don't we go ahead and just start building stuff after that 40-minute intro. Do they all build at your capital? I keep forgetting. I think they always build at your capital, no matter what your buildings are. Okay, so drones don't attract sandworms. Nearby alley, non-mechanical units, which is all my ground units, gain 20%. Health regeneration per day, which is a lot. So, you know, it only takes about 5 days to heal them. So we should get at least one of these, maybe two. Alright, so the hawk is going to be... I need Space and Guild Branch. Is that also... Is that a technology, or is that something else? Space and Guild. Ooh, that is a little loud. Sorry. Space and Guild Branch. No, that's probably a building. Duh. Senate envoys, master armors, investigative economic lobbies. So that means it's one of these buildings. Space and Guild Branch. So I need more plascrete. Now I've got lots of money from both the influx I got from the Lancerad vote, and I'm just generating more. And I have so much spice that I can afford to give tons of spice to the Empire and keep a bunch for myself. Right. So whatever you stockpile, spice sold 144. So this is Choam plus 144. So I guess, so one spice is 1.6 gold. The contract is for 567. I'm giving 909, but it's not a 1-to-1. So that plus 144 means in gold terms, you know, the extra that is beyond the tax that I owe them gets converted into gold through some weird formula. Anyways, leads to 144 from spice sold, and that's where I'm making most of my money. In fact, without that, I'd be at negative 80 as opposed to positive 70 or 80. So I need to keep doing that. But I do need more plascrete. Okay, so I have all these territories. Here I bump into the pretty pathetic, and seems like they're having lots of problems, Carinos. I guess the Emperor has his own issues on the throne. Isn't sort of thematically this makes sense to me. The Fremen are taking over, basically have taken over this whole area, and they can't take over this at least yet because there's no village or building, or at least maybe there's a hidden siege, like this abandoned Fremen camp. Okay, so I can't research it because I don't have, but my one agent that I do have in Arrakis, what they're good for mostly is to study these things, but it has to be in my territory. But there's a lot of open land in off the plateaus, which means tons of worms and probably tons of neutral bad guys, like just raiders and criminals and bad smugglers. So the smugglers that are a branch here aren't exactly like Esmar Tuek here, who's the major character in the book, and the smugglers are, but they are sort of divided into good smugglers who are tolerated and kind of needed, and the ones who, you know, are not playing by the unwritten rules of illegal activity and are just considered straight criminals. And in order to, you know, really hit home that they're bad guys, in the books they often do bad guy stuff too. Although sometimes the, you know, quote-unquote good smugglers also do bad stuff. So there's a reason why this desert has not been settled by anyone so far that I can tell. And it's because there's probably a ton of worms and other problems. The villages are very limited. They don't necessarily have a lot of spots, at least yet, for building stuff. So, right, so the Fremen are here. Is anyone here? No, this is all locals. So no one has this territory. I guess there's some more territory up here. All right, so first things first, where are my 2 ornithopters? So I do have an ornithopter here that's scanning here. But after that, I'm wondering if I can queue him. So I'm queuing him up here to see if there's any more land. It looks like there is some more land there. Okay, where's my other one? My other one's here, and he's exploring the sort of Fremen areas. I'm curious to see. Let's see. Is there anything I can study from the ornithopter? I don't see any like question marks or anything like that. Here's some up here in the desert. Before the Krinos would shoot at me, now we have a non-aggression pact. So actually, this might be a time to start doing some scanning. Although I don't see question marks here, which doesn't mean there aren't any. But just for the hell of it, to get things going, why don't we have this ornithopter here go to this question mark.
On vector.
Hopefully, it's going to this question mark.
Let's go.
Yeah, there he goes. Pause it for 1 sec. And again, I'm 3 spice mining areas that are very rich. I got a harvester here. Oh, I could put crews on here. I totally forgot that. Add crew plus 15 spice production for 40 manpower. Yeah. What have I been doing? Oh my god. Yep. And see, so yeah, again, a lot of obvious stuff I should already be doing. Well, I'm spending all my manpower on that because now I can just rely on 3 harvesters, each that are doubled up in... Wait, what? This is the second harvester. Where's the third one? Do I have 2 close to each other? Is that why it's doing that? I'm confused. There's one. There's the other. Oh, here's the other. I'm sorry. Right, in the middle. Yeah, it's weird because I have a big, long, narrow strip. So here's my original harvester, and then I've expanded out here. This has, I mean, it's just spice. I guess there's not a rating for spice. But there are some things that even more rare than spice, like energy sources. So in order for me to make a fuel cell factory, I don't have a lot of fuel cells, but I'm making 16.5 with this fuel cell factory, which is in this region. And so it is producing just plus 15, but I don't think I could have built it without that in the region. So some things you cannot build unless the resource. But even though there's a bunch of minerals here, this is now considered in the basin, in the desert sea, in the middle of everything where things get dangerous. And so even though it seems to be very close to this village, Odrom, and to my capital, Arakeen especially, and it looks like Arakeen's hegemony area is this big area, but it's not in the same region as the minerals, or as this house. So like sometimes you can sneak it on the border of a different region. So I tried that. So where I clicked Plascrete Factory, but I couldn't get it anywhere close to the region. So if I build just a Plascrete Factory, I'll get 10 more a month just cause. But I won't get the extra. I won't get it doubled. And the only way for me to get this doubled is by the one village in this area, and then to build a Plascrete Factory. I don't know if that's in my near future. I could just build Plascrete Factory for more. Now that my gold keeps going up, it would be helpful to get the Plascrete going up, because some of the important things I want to buy, like just a second building in my capital, for example, is going to require 1,000 gold, which I have tons of, but 500 Plascrete, which is only saving up for a few periods. Alright, so what else do we got going on here? Oh, right, so where are my forces? Right, so down here I have a trooper, heavy weapon, trooper, ranger. That's a good squad. And I think this is where I'm going to try. My last place I'm going to try and invade is here. I'm going to try and take this village by force to save on influence, not spend the influence. But before we do that, why don't we build a support drone for $200 to heal them? And let's see. Technically, I have 2 troopers, 1 ranger. So I have 2 troopers and 2 ranged. One's heavy. Maybe that'll be enough for now with the drone. Where's the rest of my army? All right. How do you switch between? This is another thing. Oh, here it is. Q or E. I don't know who came up with this system. Alright, so there's an army. There's an army. Right, I like to fight something off there. There's an army. There's an army. There's an army. Right. So I have a heavy weapon squad here in the capital. And then I have a heavy weapon squad and a trooper. So I could probably use another trooper or a ground unit. But maybe, and drones can fight actually. So maybe I do a second drone and just try and have 2 squads. Alright. I need a recruitment center now to expand my military. If that's even something I need to do. Alright, so here's a new village that I took purely because I get 1,000 hegemony straight up because of this space wreck. This space wreck, which I can research, but we're researching something else right now. But my Arrakis espionage person can research this. Here's my wind trap, because I could always use more water. But I think that's all I built. I have militia already there. I think I took this one peacefully, so it happened fast. It cost me stuff. But look at this. Building construction cost negative 60%. Wow. Plus 3 Solaris. Great. Everything, upkeep, cost, and time, and annexation goes down. And Solari upkeep, because of organized supply, which is a building I think I built. There's maintenance center. No, that's maintenance center. No, that's just their characteristic. Right, but there is a nearby maintenance. Right, maintenance centers. It can be next door, which is cool. Most buildings are just in its own region. But because I have a maintenance center right on the border here, see, this was what was cool about this game in terms of placement. Otherwise, I can't really tell whether placement matters that much because combat's so small and weird. But by putting it on the border, this negative 25% Solari upkeep modifier, it says it doesn't stack, so I probably have some redundancy. But even if I didn't, it's giving it to everything in the Shadow Ridge region, which is Shah Deluz village. It's giving it to everything in Hiega Platoon, which is the spice field, and Shinlua village. But also because this is neighboring, because it is partially, the building is half in Hiega Plateau. It counts as parts of 2 plateaus, so then it also counts for this one. And actually, now that I think about it, because it's on the border of Shadow Ridge, it also would count in the neighboring here, if there was a village in Aaron Ridge, but there's not. Here, which is Arakeen. So Arakeen should be benefiting. I guess it has its own stats. Oh wait, where did we send? Okay, so we're sending this. Let me start time. So I'm sending the heavy weapon squad over here. So far, I'm not doing any air travel. That should be something I should look into. Oh, right. So, let's see. So I have another refinery here for the harvester. Wind trap for water. Here's the harvesting going. There's another wind trap. There's another research hub. I just want knowledge. I just want knowledge. It's hard to get knowledge. I'm only getting 7 per turn. But it's only +1 per research hub, and because I have a research hub in the area and the abandoned station, so that activates a second, just straight money production from the research hub. It says in the area. Area is so nebulous, but I'm assuming it just means this area. But again, because I put this research hub on the border, I should be getting, it says only 1 knowledge and 1 here. So does that not stack? Doesn't say. But yeah, it appears. So even though this is on the border, this is only counting, and this is something I've just got to learn through playing because it doesn't explain it very well, is which buildings you can build multiples of and stacks abilities, and which ones don't. And so I was being very clever by trying to get research bonuses in both of these regions. Ultimately, I can only do 1 and 1, so that's what's happening. I guess you can build as many wind traps as you want. Alright, to expand military units requires recruitment center, but what I'm saving up for just a second building in my capital. But they all cost 1,500, and some of them I haven't even got the research for. But when I get to 500 Plascrete, I'll hit play, so we start working towards 500 Plascrete. I can go for plus 25% knowledge, which is good, but I'm only getting 7 per month, so it's not amazing. Hegemony games are plus 15%. That's great, because I'm at 10,000, so 15% of 10,000 is 1,500 on its own, so that's good. But this is a plus 10 land red standing that just happens by ending a council. Having at least 1 treaty contracted with another faction gains a production bonus of plus 5% and its associated research. So is my non-aggression pact is a truce, but it's not a treaty because it's not trade. Let's see. Right. So I want Plascrete, and he's got plenty of gold. He might want some spice. Is this gonna tell me, like, any kind of chance? Okay, that says negative chance. So, alright. Let's go for 30. That's 1 month's worth of spice. How much Plascrete can I get for that? Not even 50. It's not worth it. It's 1 month. What am I making per month? Okay, I am making 124, so it's only a third. That's actually not bad. That's not bad, actually, because that's only a third of 1 period, whereas this is an entire period. I do want it to be favorable. Let's go up to 40. There we go. So 40 spice, which is slightly over a month's worth, but I can afford. I'm sorry. No, it's a third of a month's worth, so I can easily afford more than a month's worth of Plascrete. This is a trade. Treaty upkeep costs. So no, wait, this should be a treaty. That's called a treaty. But what resource is that associated with? Okay, now I'm confused. Because this says, for the building, having at least 1 treaty, contract with another faction, grants a bonus production of 5% of its associated resource. What resource is the non-aggression pact?
Make it worth my time.
Is it influence? Trade agreement is Solari. Political agreement is influence. I don't want them to get more influence, though. We're both making money. I can't do a research agreement. So, yeah, that building's, I guess if that's it. So, right, it would have to be one of these agreements, and then there would be a multiplier. Okay, so if we traded to, what is this 10 thing? This is 10 authority. Does it just cost me straight up 10? I get plus 2 influence production, which is great. Minus 20% treaty upkeep costs. which I'm not sure there is one. This is negative 10% authority production, and I don't have a lot of those. Because I only have one agent, the 4 for the base. I guess I could build another administrative hall. Same thing for Solari production. 3% Solari doesn't do anything for me. +2 influence, makes me go from 6 a month to 8, so that's pretty good. But I don't have a ton of authority. All right, so let's jump to a village here. All right, is there anything here that can give me permanent, affordable authority? Wait, is it authority? Authority. There's knowledge, intel for data center. Yeah, +1 instance of a village trait. I have no idea what that means. I guess that just means like, let's see. Let me find a village that has a number trait. So +1 plascrete production, but shouldn't that be +2? So I roll over plascrete. It doesn't really tell me. So yeah, I don't know what that building is, to be honest with you. One of many things I still don't know. All right, generating 8 hegemony a day is fantastic. I need output position and a special region. I have 2 special regions, so I should actually be considering ASAP researching output logistics. Concord Chamber. Sieges in neighboring regions undergo good relations and good resources from training. Research station. Right, so I have a couple of these already. Not of this magnitude, though. Trading resources with guild favor, and I get... Oh, and then I'm allowed to have spaceships because I'm trading with a spacing guild. Do I need spaceships? I'm not convinced that I do. I'd really like to get the 8 hegemony per day. Alright, there's manpower, there's power, plascrete, water. Solari, fuel cells, water. Alright, so there's nothing specifically other than like modifiers that are already attached to villages. Right. So it's just the administration hall that can do it for me. And why can't I... Where is the administration hall? Where is it? Isn't it one of these? Am I an idiot? Oh, is this the administration hall? What? Oh, I already built one. Can I build another one? I could. Oh, there's the +30% production. Right. So it's +30%. Okay. So I have a +30%. And that's where the administration hall comes in, 1.5. Because I normally have 4.5. So +30% roughly is 1.5. I don't know what the stocks have to do with anything here. So let's go back to this guy. Alright, so I pay 10 authority and I get negative 10% authority production. But that would just take me from 6.5 to, I guess, a little under 5. Which is a lot. And I'm not going to have an agent for a while. Is this a one-way agreement? If I click on this, no, it goes both ways. And I lose. Right. I don't know why he's in a better position for this. Maybe I can bribe him? What if I throw in some spice? If I throw in a bunch of spice, does that change anything? No. There must be a reason why a political agreement is going to cost me authority. And not going to cost him authority. Why won't it remove that? Ooh, this game is buggy. This game is buggy. Alright, there's intel. It's of low interest to them. Oh, I see. Right, okay. So they want gold. But I want influence. So how much gold is it going to take to buy influence? This is interesting. Is this just Just a flat 10 influence? Wow. A lot of gold. For just 10 permanent influence? No thank you. Why won't it remove this? Wow. Super buggy.
Make it worth my time.
Alright. So how much spice is it going to take to do this? A lot of spice. A lot of spice. So none of this is really worth it for me, other than we just have a non-aggression pact, and he's sort of my least threatening. Alright, so back to what I'm going to build in Arakeen, because I've got to build something. Uh-oh. Army's losing supply without orders? Oh. I didn't even know this guy was here. Where did I think he was? Alright, we're sending him back over here. And then we're going to send him here. And then we're going to take over this region so I can get more plascrete going. Alright, so back to the buildings. Okay, I get another administrative hall for more authority. More harvesters, I'm not worried about my spice. Experience for military units, not a lot of conflicts at the moment. Command points, power to military units. I'm not sure what command points are. I mean, there's so many stats in this game. It's kind of ridiculous. What? So there's a supply. So what is this? What's plus 10 command points? Does it mean I can have? Oh, it's. Oh, I see. Armies, recruitment. So what are the recruitment offices doing for me? They're giving me plus 4 manpower. Oh, I see. I see. But then it takes away from how many units I can have, and that's what's limiting it. But they're saying I need more recruitments. Alright, does this say, this says a total supply, but it doesn't say what it's counting against to give me this 38 out of 40. It just says 7 armies equal negative 30. So I'm not really sure what to make about that. It says I need another recruitment center. I already have some. So that would be something to consider. Let's get to 500 plascrete so I can actually buy something. So anyways, whoop. Sandworm detected. Where's the sandworm detected? Where? Is it gonna just come out? Oh, my army is so injured. Is my army just getting injured just crossing the desert? Wow, I didn't realize that would happen. That's horrible. Is it gonna make it? Is it gonna make it? Is it gonna make it? Oh, it died. Oh, he died. Wow. Just straight up dead. Okay. So I built the 2 probes. Where are they? Here they are. The support drones. Alright, so I'm gonna have to build an airfield. So let's go back to the village here. Where's the airfield? Here it is. Ground military units can embark or disembark from shuttles within this airfield range. Well, that means I'm still not building in Arakeen. But you know what? I'm gonna have to do it. But we're connected to Arakeen, so this shouldn't be a problem to come over here. I don't think I can build an airfield, like an advanced airfield that I know about. Let's see, barracks. Customized gear. Alright, so now I have 3 options once I get to 500 if I can just save my money. Gain 2 operation slots, but doubles my agent recruitment speed, which is the most important part. I need more agents. The hegemony and knowledge is cool. 10 lands right after each council. But it's just plus 10. I'm currently getting 6 a month, which isn't a lot. So I would go from 10 to... would that be every month? It says after each council. So I guess that would actually help. And if I ever do make a treaty that has to do with actual resources... Alright, 2 additional operation slots. Alright, let's go back to espionage. What are operation slots? Are these operation slots? I'm totally unclear as to what operations... Oh yeah, why can't I do assassination? I need smuggler. Oh, because I'm not going after the smugglers. I need to, it doesn't describe any of these. But the smuggler's information is a 3, so I need 3 people and smugglers for assassination? No, there was a... Oh, wow. Oh, it's called infiltration was the one. So I just need 1. In order to infiltrate, I just need 1. So if I was going to infiltrate anyone, it's going to be the Fremen, which I think is where it's going next. I have a new agent in 9 days. I have a trade request from them coming. But I need to take care of this airfield issue if I'm going to be moving units. But that also means I'm going to have to buy multiple airfields. Which I guess is okay, but I just don't have the concrete to do it right now. The plascrete, whatever the hell it's called. Oh, wait, let's go back to the research for a second. I'll look at these events. Okay, so Atreides delegations is the council chamber building. Negotiations. I get a gift. Countermeasures. Agents on... What? So is counterintelligence just its own thing? Counterintelligence. Let's see. Negative... plus 1% daily chance to capture enemy. Chance to detect. Chance to capture. So this is... Right, defending my own territory. Which I probably should be doing because they're probably spying on me. What I need is agency, though, not slots. I have tons of slots and not agents. So that doesn't help. The agent recruitment speed, however, would. Now that's called countermeasures. Was that one that was included here? No, it says I can buy the intelligence agency by itself, but I don't need the operation slots. I just need the recruitment speed. The Lancerat is tempting, and the Hegemony's tempting now that I'm getting ahead in it. Okay, Fremen will have a trade request. All right.
How is Arrakis treating you?
I don't need spice, guys. I do need plascrete, intel. I don't care about that. Non-aggression pact. I'm gonna decline because I think I'm gonna have to go after the Fremen to get the hegemony win. And I don't want to make pacts with the powerful ones. The Karinos are weak right now on the planet, so that's fine. Alright, so one more time, let's look at the space at the airfield. Okay, ground military units, which I don't know if the Ornithopter... I'm sorry, I don't know if the support drone is. Medical dispenser. Is it considered an air unit? I don't think it is. I think air units would be these guys, the Hawk and the Kraken. But of course they don't say either way, because this game has major problems. So I'm assuming the drones... Well, you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a save here, even though we haven't done very much. Then I'm going to turn time on, and then I'm going to send one support drone to this army, and then I'm going to send this support drone to this army, and I'm going to see if they start dying as they're flying around. Where was Wormsign, by the way? Here's the point of interest. Investigated. Oh, here it goes. Resolve. What did it resolve in? Right. So where's the pull down for events? Like, is there an event pull down somewhere? It's totally unclear. Here's the current date. How do I know what events just happened? Alright, this shows everything. Right, so I have 230 Landsrad, 245 for Smuggler's Carino. I'm close. Fremen aren't even trying. They, of course, have no shares. I actually also have some shares on Choam, so I could go after economic victory, but I do mostly want to go after hegemony. Oh, and I do have 2 special regions. Oh, so what was there was a building where there were about that where you need special regions. Oh, I thought there was a building where you needed special regions. Maybe it's a normal building. Let's see. Can only be made. Oh wait, space building can only be built once per faction. So that's for area units and guild favors. So right now, I don't think I want to do that. But I do want to do an airfield. Ground military units can embark or disembark from shuttles. But that means I'm going to have to build in multiple places. Alright, let's see. Are my probes getting injured? They're not getting injured. However, these are... I think it was the open desert that was harming the soldiers. But this seems to be flying. Who has the ranged unit? Alright, so the next test we're going to do is we're going to build one more regular range unit. And then we're going to send it via ground in our territory to the others. So we're going to call these guys 1. We're going to call these guys 2. 1, 2. There you go. Boom. Alright, how's my tax situation going? I'm in the yellow now. So I could be giving more even. But I still want to be getting that gold. I can live with the yellow thing. Alright, so here are my units. I still haven't fully investigated this. And I guess I can't unless... yeah, I almost got there with my military unit, and then he started dying. And then I sent him back, and then he was dying again. So it's unclear why things were so bad for him here and not other places. We'll have to see when we experiment with the other... Is this where the worm sign is? Okay, that's where the worm sign is. Okay, auto recall now. Get him out of there. Construction possible, right. So at least it tells me that I can afford it. Alright, we're doing one of these, and we're not going to worry about shuttles for now. And it's for sure going to be one of these 3. Alright, when is the next Landsrad Council? 0 days. So that's soon. So that would be 10 authority right there, boom. But it has an upkeep of 10. These probably all do. Knowledge, I only have 7, so plus, I mean, plus 25%, it's plus 25%, but it's just not that much. And then hegemony is just for gains, but I'm not immediately going to get the gains. So I'm either going for faster agents or Landsrad standing. And I think it'll be more fun to go for an intelligence agency. Oh. But if I study Atreides delegation next, 100% relation gain with Siege. But the Landsrad gains are really the big thing. What is it? It's just plus 10% though, right? So I'm only getting plus 15, so that's like not that much. It puts me slightly above them. So none of these are that amazing for how expensive these are. I guess the plus 10 after each council is the best. So I'm going to build that, but I'm not confident that that was the best selection. I just realized I got a ton of Plascrete somehow. How did that happen? Wait. Now I'm down to no Plascrete. How did that happen? Oh, that wasn't K? I had a ton, and then I guess, did they just spend it all, and that's what's going on? Okay. So we're still building the unit. I'm at a little bit over normal speed, at least. There's my intel. My votes aren't going up. My influence will go up. Isn't that what I selected? I already forget. Yeah, Lancerat standing. New Lancerat Council. Alright, so this is coming soon. 2 days. But then there's a certain amount of days that they are submitted for. 6 days left for the embassy. I don't know if I'm going to make it. Okay. We'll deal with... Yeah, we want to get that governorship. And we can hold on to it and easily win the game. We just got to get there. Alright, so let's hope that builds. So in the meantime, can we start to snowball Lancerad standing? And the answer to that is influence per region when neighboring an enemy region. I have no enemies, so that doesn't do anything for me. So as far as I can tell, there's no direct way through normal buildings to affect influence. It's possible some of these villages have influence modifiers. But I'm not really sure where it's coming from, to be honest with you. Oh, here it is. 2 for the base, 1 from Lancerad support. I don't know. I'm not sure why I have Lancerad support. That might be part of my character. Yeah, this doesn't say. Oh, here we go. So, right. So, I hit 10K before anyone else, and that's a big goal. Ignores all charter prerequisites except Lancerad standing, which is great. So, it all comes down to standing. So, yeah, if I'm going to go after hegemony or even Lancerad, I need to start trying to snowball it. Or hegemony, one of the two. Permanently gain +2 research production upon being elected for positive resolution. That's not that great. Solari production. So these are just faction bonuses, but this is all based on politics, which hasn't been like that much of a thing yet. So how else can I affect the influence? I know it's hard to do. All right, Harvester, it's time to deploy. I assume will my Ornithopter at least follow it back into the region? It will. Okay, at least it's that smart. Okay, so I built a ranged unit, and my other ranged unit's here, so this one is going to go here, and we're just going to see if it gets any negative damage on it or whatever. Okay, no one's answering my question in the Discord. Come on, people. Are they losing health? They're not losing health. The question is why. I'm unsure. I'm unclear why the others. Was it daytime? Was that it? Was it traveling during the daytime? Oh. So there's the +20 benefit, and all these units are gonna say +20 because of the support drone. Night. Negative 20% daily supply drain. Negative 20% section range units with camouflage. That's interesting. So I'm not gonna get an answer to my question. Where's the other pro, by the way? Should be here. So why is it not selecting it? Oh, it is. Oh, I only have 9 dur. I only have 9 units. Dur. Yeah, I could use another melee or something. Range. Can't afford anything. Why can't I afford anything? I can't afford anything because why? I've got gold. I got manpower. Oh. What's that symbol? Oh, that's the command authority symbol. Okay. Now I don't know where that's represented though is the problem. Where do I see? Okay, so that's when I was looking at Arakeen buildings. What I was unsure about in the red in the military area was what's +10 command points. That's this here. Alright, so back to the buildings. Can we build something to give me more command points? Not directly that I can tell. There's influence. There's hegemony. I think they said I have to build... Is this why I have to build a command post? Because that's the only way... Yeah. So now I have to just wait till I get back up to 500. I'll build a command post. It'll give my units more power, and I can build a few more units. So that's why I can't do it. Okay. Here's the new council in 0 days. We're still building the thing that'll benefit from the council. In the meantime, I'm going to revisit my relationship here.
Worth my time.
And discuss whether... Discuss whether the political agreement's worth it. Because we both get +2 influence. Treaty upkeep costs, whatever. Not a big deal. Negative 10% authority production, so I guess that means it'll go to negative 8% authority production. Totally unclear. So we're giving influence to each other. Alright, so what's the influence machine at? So the Fremen actually don't... The Fremen and House Carino are both way behind me. So I don't mind giving them some. It doesn't seem like, especially the Fremen... Okay, they want influence though. So who doesn't want influence? Everyone wants influence.
How is Arrakis treating you?
That's all they want is influence. The Emperor will take gold. The smugglers will take spice. But aren't the smugglers the one that have the good... Yeah, the smugglers have a higher fucking influence than me. So I don't want to give it to them. But
Make it worth my time.
I think I can probably still bribe.
Make it worth my time.
Although it's just a one-time injection of 10 influence. That's only like a month and a half for me. I'm about to get more. I think, honestly, I think the best thing we can do... Well, one would be to add operation slots in the intelligent, in the espionage. I don't know where those operation slots go. Oh, here they are. Okay, I don't need these. I'm not even using a second one. All right, so here comes the council vote. Okay, but here's the good news. Voting ends in 5 days, but my building ends in 3 days, so I'm gonna get Lanzarat standing just for the council ending. So I'm already a winner. Okay. Every used command point increases Solari and manpower upkeep of military units by 1%. Okay, that's a lot because I have 37 command points, and they're being used. So that's 37% increase of upkeep of military units, which is 58. That's a lot of gold. I do not want this. No. Okay. Imperial intelligence. All factions suffer 100% detection chance when launching operation. 5% daily chance of agent capture when assigning on a faction. But right now I'm not assigning on a faction. And I think I'm going to be assigning a unit soon in 2 days. So I don't want that either. Water regulation. -1 authority production per controlled village. That would... wreck me, and even if I went to abandoned villages, would cost me money. I have so many villages. I mean, how many? I have, this is 4 villages, but I have way more than 4 villages, don't I? 7 villages. 8 villages. So this says 8 villages, or that producing Solari, but I have like 8 or 9. I mean, so that would take me well into negative authority. So as much as all of these suck, I'm gonna have to put most of my I'm gonna put 70 into. I'm gonna put 30 votes into the labor rights thing. I'll ignore Imperial Intelligence for now, and I really don't want -1 authority production per controlled village. Let's see, enemy military units I don't have. Solari. Right now I'm getting 300 Solari per controlled village, but this will put me into negative authority. And unless that means, so my next agent for sure is gonna go to Arrakis, so that'll put me up to 7.5 per month. All right, back to buildings real quick. Is there any ways I can increase authority through buildings? There's influence, research, sieges, hegemony. This is all Solari, water, spice, plascrete. Allows nuclear. It says allows for nuclear warheads. The nuclear silo. Wow. Missile battery automatically attacks units. Right, there's the airfield. So right, so authority represents factions, leadership, and reach. It's used to take control of villages. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what I'm supposed to do. Other than just keep building administration halls. But boy, I don't want to expand my army now because I could get severely punished for it. Depending on how this vote goes. What does this say? This is just saying it's going on. I don't know why this is called negotiation tactics. What this has to do with anything. Oh, that's just what I'm researching. Duh. Okay. What I need is... So there is a cost for a non-aggression pact. Treaty upkeep. Unlock council chamber building. What does council chamber building do again? Oh, plus 10% Landsrat standings. Yeah, that's where I thought I wanted to go. So we don't want to. We won't stop. Actually, you know what? We are gonna stop it. Yeah, I'm gonna halt it. This is like I've halted stuff, but I don't really need it. What I really need is where is it? Atreides delegation. It's gonna take 20 days, but I can get a new building, and I'll have the resources by then. Trade request from the smugglers. Oh, they're sending me 100 influence. Okay, they want a lot. They want a lot. They want a lot of spice. 2 months of spice. I'm sorry. Not 2 months of spice. Wait, this is my stock. Villages. Stockpile. All right, because the rest is going to Cho. So it does. It's about a quarter of my spice. It's almost 10 months of spice. It's a lot of money, but I can afford the money, and it's a lot of intel, but I have a decent amount. But I actually could use the plascrete, and I definitely want the influence, so we're gonna take it. All right. So with that plascrete, I can now, once this embassy building is done in 2 days, we're gonna build. Well, depending on how the voting goes, we might be forced to do authority production. But we are also saving up for the council chamber, but I'm researching the Atreides delegations. So I think we go for either knowledge or hegemony gains. I guess the command point would be good. I'm curious to see what intelligence agency does. So, I don't know. We'll have to see when we get there. It's hard to know. Okay, so it says me plus 6. I'm at 200. Is that a max? Stocks 200. Okay. So what does stocks mean? Is that the Choam Mark stocks? No, that's shares. So what? So now I'm building influence I can't use? I'm confused. So what's going to happen to all this? It's just not gaining? Oh, I know. Okay, it means I can spend more money on... Oh, I thought maybe. All factions who have voted for it beginning 10 lands are outstanding. So, right. So, if I'm low on votes, it spends influence. Which I have right now. Alright, so let's see what happens here. I'm going to spend more money on... Is this going to take a chunk out of my influence? 'Cause I'm maxing out. I'm in the medium range of 200 to 299. I have passed Carino on how much per council I'm getting, but it's not clear where the extra of that 200 is going. Can I even increase this? What will this do? Unassigned agent. Okay, here's my agent. Okay, so I kind of want to spy on the Fremen because they're the hegemony threat. The political threat was the smugglers, but now all of a sudden I have tons of influence. So, and I'm not really getting involved in the shareholders thing. Let's see, 10% of the stocks. I mean, I'm at 1%. I mean, that's a lot of stocks. That's too much. So I could put them in Arrakis and do more projects. I could do counterintelligence to detect other people, which is pretty dope. But I also could run an infiltration mission on the Fremen. And they're my biggest fear right now. So I'm going to put him there. And we have to level up a level. But once we get one level, I should be able to send an infiltration cell over to... let's see, how's the voting going? I'm not sure what I'm spending over the voting. I'm spending something over the voting. Where's that extra money going? Spying, logistics, influence. It's not coming from there. It's not coming from knowledge. Where's it coming from? Why am I in the red with the stockpile? Oh, I guess they're getting more demanding with... They're getting more demanding, but that means no gold for me. So, while we're in the red, screw it. I need to start stockpiling. Oh, wait. Right. This is always confusing. Contracts. So, I'm stockpiling it for it to go to Choam. Oh, right, but my Choam number... No. So, you know what? Screw them. Screw them. I want to get money. Oh, but then the golds. Oh, God. It's such a... Right, 80, yeah, getting 100 a month is nice. That'll be enough stock. I won't end up stockpiling a bunch. But you know what? I'll at least be able to meet my things. Uh-oh. Sandworm detected again. Get him out of there. I thought I've studied the damages of this thing numerous times. Reward intel, reward random access development by advances a random accessible development by 4 days. Okay. Sort of understand what that is. But what I want to investigate is this. No. That's not it. Where was it? Where was it? I thought there was another project in my area. I guess it's just this. Until I expand. So this is nothing, huh? Interesting. I do have an extra building slot here, by the way, and tons of money. Man used to train soldier crews to man vehicles. I'm making enough manpower for now. Again, I'd like authority. There's not really any ways to do that. Fuel cells is for vehicles. I guess that is part of the problem. Okay. So why is this ornithopter hurt? Where is he again? You. All right. Let's where do we want to explore anyways? There's not like that much. We've seen most of everything. Almost be better just to be like a spy thing. We've already got an ornithopter down here. All right, let's send you back to all the way to just home base. We'll just role play that this is an emergency. So I have 100 votes. Influence is lost when used. So theoretically, okay. So now I can build here. Okay. So there's the agent recruitment speed. I think that's what I want to do is go for spies. Yeah, let's go for spies. Let's go for spies. Oh, now I'm in negative. All right. So now here's when things get hairy. Why am I in negative? Okay. I got a lot of armies. Armies and ornithopters are mostly what's screwing with me. The 4 recruitment offices are... I mean, even to get... I mean, my stock... So little in the stockpile. But I need to... I have a good stockpile as of now. Spy Space Villages 61.1. Siege trades, right. So what? So I'm sending... Right, so this is what's filling the stockpile. Okay. Are they less happy with me now? Is that what they're gonna tell me? Is that they're less happy with me? I'm still at 0.4 Imperial satisfaction. There's still worm signs, so I can't do anything till the sandworm goes away. I still haven't actually seen the sandworm. Alright, so the Landsrod standing should start to increase. There it goes. Boom, I nailed it. Does that mean the vote went through? No, but I already now have plus 30 Landsrad coming next council, which is great because I need to catch up. In fact, I might build another embassy, or can you only do one? It looks like I can build another one, build 2 embassies. That would be dope. In the meantime, why don't we at least fill up empty building slots that we have? Because I know I have a few. So there's hegemony here, guild favor with a space and guild branch, recycling plant. What's the recycling plant? Water extractor. I don't know what the recycling plant is. It's processing plant. plus 20 Solari. I need a bunch of research for that. Wholesale marquee. Wholesale marquee? What am I even saying? I don't have enough fuel cells for this. Experimental furnace. Plus 30% economy building resource production in allied villages in the region and its neighbors. That is dope. But I don't have enough fuel cells for that. And I can't build a fuel cell because I need energy source or great volcano. I don't think I have a great volcano. I do have an energy source here. So I guess... Would they allow me to build a... Nope, need an energy source. Where's my other special region? Uh-oh, that sounded kind of dirty. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that either. Alright. Alright. Well, now I need just straight money. So, because it only costs 50 plascrete, which is really nothing. We'll just throw down another 5 Solari there for now, and we'll deal with this later because we can buy more building slots. So for now, we're just gonna have markets and get stuff from the markets. Alright, so the worm went away. We can deploy again. The vote is almost ready to happen. I'm still sitting at 10.8. My lands red standing is going up. Here it is. More shares of Choam. Don't need it. I paid the imperial tax. Alright, now the contracts have gone way up. And I'm not sure why all of a sudden that's the case. Now, I do have money. I wonder if buying... where are they? Nope, not any of these places. Choam market. So if I buy this, it's the purchase price for 5 shares. Does this directly then start to impact what I owe? Maybe in the future? Alright, now I've got money coming in again. Let's keep buying shares because we're making money. So now the price, okay, so because I'm buying shares, now all of a sudden spice is worth, I guess, 2.6 for 1 spice. So that's where the money is coming from. But I still need to fulfill the contract. $30 seems to be plenty. So 30 will get me there just barely while I make the money. Uh-oh. Village under siege. Okay, so it did tell me there was a village under siege. But I've got an army here. Fight these guys. They're over here. Shit. I do have a militia. I should have had another militia. Let's see if my army gets injured on its way over. These guys are going to get injured. No, you aren't supposed to be here. You're supposed to be monitoring the crawler. So they're gonna beat my militia. Or wait, are these ornithopters too? There's a drone. Okay, so it beats my militia, but my units are gonna get here sort of on time. The militia just with the support drone. Let's see what happens here. Let's kill these guys first and then go to these guys. Focus fire. Focus fire, focus fire, focus fire, focus fire. Oh, another sandstorm. This is going to ruin everything. This is the other problem with the desert. Okay, no. Ornithopter, do not go that way. You're going through the sandstorm. Okay, that's not going to do anything either. Are there any projects that can be investigated? Marauder camp. Really? There's no just like ornithopter things I can... Alright, he's still on auto. This guy's about to die if he doesn't get the hell out of here. I'm thinking it wouldn't hurt to have a scout up here. They are amassing an army. Oh, I'm up to 11.8 hegemony. Oh, the Fremen jumped ahead of me in hegemony, so I have to decide whether I'm gonna really try and pursue both of those goals at once. But for now, I'm just gonna send the ornithopter back to way out of the desert, way out of the space of the desert. Look at this fucking sandstorm, man. Jesus Christ. I can research, however, another research project in my area with my Arrakis agent, Harvester Rec. So we'll put him there. Labor rights, ever used command point. Oh, this is, I guess I lost it. Solarian manpower upkeep. So I lost that vote. Given factions can be voted for an inactive charter vote. Plus 100 Mac. Oh, I'm up to 300 with influence. Okay. Alright, the Solari I can take. Manpower is going to be a problem. Manpower is going to be a big problem. That I definitely need to solve. And so we'll put it, because everything is so cheap here. Oh my god, I should be building everything in this village. But I can't do manpower. Or am I just looking at... Oh, no, there it is. Recruitment office. Okay. So that's one. Everything's so cheap here, though. I didn't have to buy it ahead of time, but... I didn't realize it wasn't just the buildings, but just the spaces for the buildings. So we might build 2 recruitment offices there. Alright. So, how are the Fremen... Okay, so they did expand into the final part. So now we've got this giant no man's land in the wild deserts in between. So to conduct a war against them would be difficult, to say the least. Okay, so these soldiers did end up winning that thing, and I'm gonna send them to this village. Let me save first. I'm not, just for screwing up, I'm not gonna reload saves. But if they all die the second they walk into this territory here, then I'm gonna reload it, because Siege with friendly relations is ready to form an alliance. What does that mean? Send an emissary to ally with the siege and benefit from its alliance bonus. Trooper recruitment costs, trooper training times. That's really not that important to me. 10 water. And I don't need spice. I don't really need any of this. So that's really nice of them, but right now, okay, minor house delegation. Let's say a delegation from minor house has come to you for help. They need to reach one of your enemies. This is the Age of Wonder stuff. They need to reach one of your enemies. Don't have the means. I can afford both of these. Provide them with an escort. I lose 200 manpower, which I'm already down on. But I gain Landsrad standing, which is what I want. Intel, it's easier to lose because I'm making a lot and have a lot. Minor houses will permanently gain 50 votes. Minor houses will permanently gain 50 votes? Why would I want that? No. We're going to take the manpower hit, and we're just going to build more manpower centers. We already are building the maintenance. No, where is it? It's at my far out village. Yeah. And I'm going to have another building slot. I'm going to build another recruitment office, I think. I own 2% of the shares now. I don't know why I'm buying it other than I'm kind of controlling the price, and it's part of why I'm getting so rich. I'm right on the border of not being able to afford the tax. So I'm going to take a little bit less money per month, especially while this restriction is in place. Okay, so we are fighting these guys.
Understood.
Let's see how this goes. But look, we've got 2 wrecks to explore, but mostly the Plascrete factory is what I'm thinking about. Okay. So my regular troopers are about to die, so this is about to become totally a range fight. I need to finish combat, but I should be taking the village. Alright. So now it's my ranged against their range against my range and my heavy and my drone to heal, which is also attacking. So I should get this. I do get it. The annexation takes 1.5 days. Solari production, right. At least one building of each type. At least, I guess that means red, green, yellow, or whatever. So 3 buildings. Alright, so meanwhile, I can actually, what was the restriction? Upkeep. Okay, so actually I didn't mind losing that unit because I'm losing manpower based on that, and I actually could use manpower. So losing 1 unit to take that village, not a big deal. And as soon as I get this, I'm gonna get a building or 2. Okay, there's the construction for the manpower. Okay, the siege is over. That's gonna be over soon. The siege we don't need friendly relations with. Construction's possible. Okay, so here's the interesting thing. I guess you can only have 1 of each. I think I'm gonna go for the. I mean, I'm not really interested in going to full out war right now, to be honest with you. So I think we go for the research center. To be honest. Oh, but we also all have another building slot here now, and everything is reduced costs, which is fantastic. I don't think I'm going to war with the Carinos. +1 knowledge would be nice. My intel's fine. Oh, I can get a listening post. So, who's my enemy? Oh, that's interesting. I'm scanning this, right? Okay. So, I thought we had a non-aggression pact. But is everyone considered like a quote-unquote enemy? Or who's here? Who controls this? This is the deep desert. Who the hell controls this? Well, I'm not going to ask questions. If they're going to let me build a listening post, I'm going to get for +1 influence production. Absolutely. So there we go for that. So that's great. Alright, we should probably start to invest in militia. But we just spent a bunch of cash. Let's make sure we're paying our taxes. We are. Our cash is okay. It's not amazing. Another sandworm. Okay. He'll get saved. This siege will be over soon. Duration 1.5 days.
On it.
Is it not sieging? Oh, okay. So I had to activate it. My bad. Alright. We're going to not worry about that for now. We're not going to worry about the sandworm for now. Okay. So that's all good. Yeah, I mean, this game definitely passes the time the way Stellaris does. It feels like you're accomplishing a lot. I'm not really sure that I totally am feeling it. It just feels really incomplete. But I can point to some specifics, but not all. There's the Imperial base. I don't know what that does. It's just the Carino home. Okay, I thought I was scanning that. New village controlled. Right. Right, so I want to get water, and I want to get a Plascrete factory. So the first thing we're going to get is Plascrete factory. And then Solari upkeep. Oh, so everything got better now all of a sudden. And then next I'll get some more water. All right, they're starting to catch up on the Landsrad standing. We should build some militia. We'll start with one. We'll build one veteran for now. That's all we can afford. Let's see, 5, 17. All right. At the end of this period, I think we'll take a break. Landsrad meeting again, but this is great because I get benefits just for it meeting, and my influence keeps going up. So that's fantastic. All right, what's gonna be on the docket is raise relationship to truce with every other factions. Leaving it cost influence. Okay, elected faction, judge of the council. Okay, so judge of the council's up. Which I am. I can do. And I'm immune to negative effects of modifiers, which is amazing. So I'm gonna definitely vote for myself for that. Negative 30% military units power. I mean, again, I'm not trying to go to war now that I have all the territory that I want. I mean, there's not really anything left to get until I want to go into the deep desert, and I really don't want to go into the deep desert right now. So, I mean, the next move is go to with the lower erg and take on these locals. But earn their trust, settled Hyreg. Unit will disband after 10 days from a mercenary. Nah. Yeah, I don't need that, actually. Alright, so the Plascrete factory is still building. We'll send the agent here. Point of interest investigated. This is just another thing for Arrakis. Did I ever assign my agent? Oh, I assigned it. Right. Okay. So now, this is great. Now I can spend my intel, which I have a ton of, 100 intel for an assassination. I can install an infiltration cell in the village. Which village? So, it says in the village. I don't know which village is talking about, but it's going to tell me in 3 days. Supposedly, as people say. Oh, I got another new agent. Okay. So I can really step it up on the Fremen. I think counter espionage actually at this point would be not a terrible thing, just to make sure, at least for a little while, to make sure I'm not getting spied on. Oh, I can resolve that. What did it resolve into? I don't even know. Truce ended. We are now in conflict? I should expect an attack soon? Okay. Well, he did it before we could vote on leaving the truce. I knew he was massing an army. I knew it. 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 Okay. So this army has to now go to the border to defend, which is this village. And this is actually a really valuable village now. So we're going to go. And not only are we going to go, what do we have? Heavy weapon, trooper, ranger. We could use another trooper. Will let me build another trooper? It will. Okay. So build a trooper and we'll send that too. And then on top of that, so this is our only direct border with the Krynos, I think, right now. Yeah. I'm going to open up a new construction area, and we're going to get a missile battery, which just automatically attacks units within your territory. Or plus 20% power to ally military units in region and its neighbor. Ooh. That's cool. So the question is, how much damage does the missile battery do? Well, we're going to try it because it sounds cool. Let's see, where should we put it? We'll put it here. Sure, why not? I guess that's all 5 buildings. Construction complete. Okay. It's still neutral territory here. I don't need to spend all my money on militia. I need both plascrete and gold before I do anything, so that'll be waiting. Renegades have arrived. Oh, right. Renegades are from the Froferlachs. The Spacing Guild would be happy to have them removed. But I'm nowhere near them. I'm in no place to, yeah. I'm in no place to do anything there. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, I actually have plenty of water. What I do need is manpower, would be great. I have no money anyways, it doesn't make a difference. Alright. Man, I really want to be judge of the council. So I need to keep expanding what they call stocks, because I can't get the governorship until I have 450. Oh no, that's Landsrat. That's not straight influence. It's Landsrat standing. So I'm going up plus 25. I'm going up more than the others. So I'm catching up. I'm getting close to the Krynos, which is why they're threatening, why they broke the treaty.
Make it worth my time.
I'm in conflict. Okay, so here's a chance.
How can I help?
Cost to propose decreases the longer the conflict lingers. Oh, we're in conflict? Am I in conflict with everyone? Alright, that's too many people.
Let's get to business.
Where are they located? I don't even really know. Alright, so I think something else I want to do is counterintelligence is great, but I really want to be spying directly on the Krynos now that they're kind of a threat to me. And I'm going to get an infiltration cell going in, I guess, the Fremen. Alright. I'm neck and neck with the Fremen in terms of hegemony. Not sure what else I can do, again, without moving into the deep desert. I guess this would be the move, but it would be to take this. It would put me right up against the Fremen. I kind of like having a neutral zone. It would allow me to get more spice, but my I guess I could use more spice. I would lose soldiers here. They've got a decent militia. Now I could spend. Oh, I don't have his authority, so I can't do a peaceful annexation. Yeah, it's not worth it right now. What should I buy with this second building here? I got plenty of intel. I could always use more knowledge. Manpower production is just +4. Water, I've got enough. Solari upkeep. The Solari upkeep modifier thing is dope. The question is, I think this already has, yeah, it already has one. This one might have it too. Yeah, so maintenance center won't do anything. I wish it would just tell you not to build it. I need Solari. I need money. I mean, there's no two ways about it. I'm right on the border. Armies or yeah, I guess the army is. Okay, so this army's also gonna go all the way here. Let's see if he makes it without getting injured. I'm very curious about. But I've got too many expenses and not bringing nearly enough money. All right. Is there anything that I can research that gives me more money? Villages, especially. Okay, yes. Atreides Foreman. Absolutely. That's what's getting researched. I need Solaris. Oh, wait. But I also get +5 Solari production per controlled village. Ooh. I don't know what's going to end up with more. I have 2 special regions. Yeah, let's do that. It'll just be fun. Another vote. Okay, here's the actual vote. Right. So military power. Oh, this gives it. Interesting. Is there a? Is it? Do I know what their military power is? Do I know what their military power is? Is a great question. They have special regions. No, I don't have intel on them. That's part of the problem. I'm trying to get intel. I'm getting some, but I'm not getting a lot. But the Fremen, when it comes to hegemony, that has to do with control of the planet. So I guess I'm going to nominate the Fremen. Yes. Yeah, I definitely want to vote for myself. Judge of the council. And the truce actually would be dope because it would get me out of all these wars that I'm in, I think. Well, let's see what happens. Alright, we'll deploy the harvester back. Votes ongoing. Okay, there's infiltration cell. Do I have to pick a village? Select region that contains a village. Alright. Oh, interesting. Okay. So they've got a lot of land. Oh, they are expanding into the desert. That's the problem. They're Fremen. They know how to do this. But we're going to go into their main... We're going to go to their main capital. And we're going to scan over here. See what else is going on. Okay. So that did that. So I'm still managing to keep up with the Gemini based on other things, even though they're conquering more land. It's getting clear I'm gonna have to go into the desert, I think. Oh wait, no! It says there was an enemy operation, but then I missed it. And then how do I go back to that message? Operation. Feminists after your operation against them? Great. Well, they already hate me. So does that just mean it totally fails? Do I just lose that agent? All right. So that wasn't much of anything. I'm really not getting anything here. Well, I'll keep him there for now, just for lack of having a better idea. Love to figure out how I specifically increase my stocks, because I'm gaining influence very quickly, which is great. Money's okay. Everything seems to be okay. Let's open up a block. Can I build a listening post? No, not because there's no enemy, but there may be soon, but not necessarily here. I don't need the Solari upkeep. This was maybe I didn't actually need this. Knowledge. Yeah, you know what? +1 knowledge isn't bad. What happens to water I don't use? Negative water leads to unrest. I've got tons though. I still don't know what that building is. Alright, let's leave these slots open for a bigger building, because this is a special region, I guess. It says missing resources. Space and Guildright. Research hub production. Resource production. Nuclear warheads. Yeah, these are big boy buildings. 30% economy buildings, resource production, ally villages, region, and its neighbor. Upkeeps in Solari. No, I don't want any of this stuff. Let's just go for a research hub right now. Just to get one more research. I can't think of anything better. Alright. We're almost at the end of May, or whatever it is. So at the end of May, we'll call the stream, because we're almost at 2.5 hours. Alright. Construction complete. Great. Imperial tax is due soon. I'll be fine. Trade request from Fremen. Now they want a non-aggression pacts. But they want a ton of influence. They want a lot. No, thank you. They're trying to bribe me with straight money. Nope. Not gonna do it. Point of interest investigated. Resolve. I don't know what that did. I still don't understand what those missions result in. They result in something. I keep assigning agents to places, and I guess they're doing something. Alright. Please get rid of this labor rights thing. My money should go way back up, and my manpower. There it goes. Thank God. Oh no. Negative. The vote was against me, of course. Big time. Negative power. Okay, so I'm definitely not going to war. And they declined the other two. So I got nothing, and everyone hates me right now. Okay. Well, I guess this is what happens when you reach the mid-game, is you may have a lot of land, you may have a lot of different stuff. Smugglers have launched an operation against you. Alright. So if the smugglers have launched an operation against me, that means I'm gonna move let's see. 1 intel, 1 influence. 1 influence is nice. I can't do anything with it right now though. I'm gonna go to counterintelligence. I'm gonna go on extra counterintelligence and see if I can snuff out their mission. That went really bad for me, that vote. But I keep getting tons of influence, so I can't be that complaining. Oh, show 'em buying prices 10%. Buy 5 more shares. That should help me in the long run. All right, 2 more days or 3 more days in the month. I think it's 30 days. Construction complete. Construction complete. All right. We'll leave it there for now. All right. Well, we've got a decent amount of everything coming in. So, wherever we are, I don't know. I mean, it's basically us and the Fremen trying to get to 30,000 hegemony. We're almost halfway there. And my lands are outstanding. I'm catching up to the Carinos. I'm past the smugglers. And so what I need to do is continue. Am I only abusing? Can I get a research station on this? No, of course not. Mother frickers. You know what? Oh, there's more upkeep for another building. God damn it. I keep forgetting that. That's a big upkeep. Just more Solari production. Yeah, I need the money. I didn't actually need to open that, but that's okay. Alright, what do we got? Village under siege. Well, guess I should have put more militia in, but we'll find out soon enough.
We'll take them out. Received.
Can I stay in the village? How heavy of a fight is this going to be? This doesn't look good. Does not look good for me. Especially they're attacking now that I have negative 30% on my units. I might lose this battle. Alright. So assuming I'm going to lose this battle, let me get... Well, let's just see what happens. What a terrible way to end this month. But I've got the negatives thing. Luckily, I've got the heavy weapons squad. But they're going to destroy the drone soon. I'm going to try and move the drone back. But I don't know if that's going to do anything. The militia's gone. I can't build more. Hostile units near territory? Okay, so everyone's invading me now. So as soon as they passed that resolution of the military power, everyone came after me. So this is it. This is it. I've been dominating everything all game, and now look at this. Look how smart this AI is. Wow. And they've got flamethrowers. I really blew it on the military front. Okay. Well, you know what? Lesson learned. I have to go back to Lancerad now. I have another agent. Yeah, none of this is good. None of this is good. Everyone's dying. So what? Am I going to lose the village down here? Is that what happens? Local population. It still says it's in my control for now. But I have to liberate the village. And how am I going to do that? I have no units. And I'm dying here too. I mean, they're just going... I mean, their army is ridiculous. And I don't know how to do combat in this game effectively. But they keep retreating. So I think this is it. I think this is where I call the end of the game. Even though I'm up in hegemony. My standing is as good as ever, but I don't know how I'm going to recover from like losing both of my armies and not being reinforce them, and I guess that's part of why they tell you not to expand too quickly. Man, their ranged units are smart. They move out. Wow. As soon as they passed that negative 30% on me, I didn't take that seriously enough. Everyone started attacking. They were just waiting. They were just waiting for a resolution like that. Yeah, this is what we call the end game, folks. Again, is there a way for me to come back from this, considering I'm still positive in everything but gold? But now I'm going to start losing my harvesters. And I'm not going to be able to get to 30,000 hegemony fast enough. I just didn't have enough of an army. I had a weak, small, divided army covering too much territory. And I don't know which way to go now, but I kind of want to go here with these soldiers. See if I can just stem the tide of one spot. Alright, so what happens to this place? So this is straight up. So I'm just going to straight up start losing these resources. Negative 30% local population because it's occupied. But it's still considered one of mine. But I'm not getting any of those resources. Is that the deal? Oh, great. A sandstorm. Well, good. Luckily, it's happening to the fucking Fremen. Development research. Okay, so I need the... Melissa slots, Melissa training time, missile battery power. Yeah, we've already started this. Village lost. So that's it. So I just straight up all the investment in that village gone. All those resources, everything. But they ran away. So I knew that was going to be a reach. So now what I have to do is reinforce this village. So I'm opening up a slot and I'm getting missile batteries because that's going to get improved, and I'm going to also get militia, ranged militia. That'll be good enough for now. And I guess, did I end up winning that fight here? It looks like I did. I don't know how. Alright, I need more money so I can get more stuff. But the bigger thing is another missile battery to defend. Okay. Okay, that could have been way worse. That could have been way worse.
Is that where you need us?
Somehow they retreated. My hegemony's still good. I'm still catching up. I'm going to pass And I think at this point, with my Lancerad standing, but nobody likes me. So why don't I start trying to just get peace with everybody? I have influence. Alright, so the first people to have peace with... Whoa. They went 39. They went a lot.
How is Arrakis treating you?
I think I take it with the Fremen. And maybe yield hegemony for them in order to keep my Lancerad. So did that just cost me straight up? So, oh wait, but my shares now are up. I'm up to 400. Okay, so truce with Fremen. Eye of the Council. But the Dune governorship, I need 450. My Lancerad standing is going up plus 10. Or no, my influence is going up plus 10. But I'm getting there. But what's Eye of the Council means 2 extra agents. Probe setup is free. I don't really care about that much. But I need to get units going in my my situation. And we're going to get a command post at the capital when I can afford it. Whenever the hell that is. So my other units should be done. Okay, it's only 2 units, I know. But we got to reinforce. I mean, I have so much spice and other materials coming in here. I have to defend it. Ooh, I can add more crew for 40. Oh, I can add another 40 and another 40 and another 40. Okay, awesome. So that's my spice production is gonna pick up big time. Nope, not enough. Nope, too much. Yep, right amount. Alright, so now it's just a matter of spending money. So next time what we're going to do is focus on military, because we're going to be neck and neck in the hegemony race with the Fremen going up to the end of this game. That just is how it's going. And so we have to keep that as an option. I am going for the Lancerad political win, and I'm starting to dominate. And let's see, the political win happens with the Dune governorship. So that actually has to come up as a thing. And it's not happening yet, but I think once I get to 450 Lancerad standing, it will come up. And so I just need to improve. I need to improve my military enough. Let's see. What do I got coming over here? I have a trooper and a heavy weapons squad. Heavy weapons squad is they are beefy. So let me do another heavy weapons squad, because we're gonna have more money coming in now. Okay, here's the Lancerad vote. Okay. 2 extra agents with a special counselor trait. So this won't hurt us. Non-faction information levels cannot be lower than 3. Lancerad investigation. Set command point to 60 for the length of the resolution. So they're going to try and support this and then increase their forces and invade me. So I'm going to vote heavily against this. I don't care about the Eye of the Council thing. I mean, does it get me closer? Does it get me closer to governorship? I don't think it matters. So I'm going to decline. I'm not sure exactly what this is entailing, but I'm going to put all 100 votes that I have into not increasing armies. Because I'm going to be able to get to 50 pretty soon, I think. And I don't want anyone else to get it. And I'm still suffering from lack of military power. There's another spaceport breach. Produce plascrete, have plascrete. Produce manpower, have manpower. I'm not going to get... Oh, well, I will actually get to that soon. Lose manpower, gain guild favor. I don't really care about guild favor. Don't really care. Okay, so here's the vote. Alright, so okay. So this is a good place to stop. It's not quite the end of the year. So here's where we're at. Fremen are definitely I'm gonna probe this area here to see the rest of the Fremen Empire, but our hegemony's neck and neck. They keep taking new territories. I gotta do something if I'm gonna compete in this, because they're starting to move away from me. But I don't have a lot of options because I already lost a village, and there's not any other villages that aren't in the deep desert or like in enemy territory. So I would need to find other ways of hegemony. I mean, there is a special regions bonus, and that's what's helping me. Artist agent, craft workshop. I don't know what that's referring to even. All right. What does everyone else want for a truce? Man, they want lots of stuff. All right, let's save it here. Thanks for joining the stream, everyone who jumped on. And if you're watching this, it's most likely on YouTube, which is where I'm getting lots of hits these days. I might as well put it up there. Yeah. I love Dune, and it's a cute enough game, and while I still don't understand a lot of it, and it's sloppy, and it has too many resources, not enough explanation, and there's some bugs, but it's Dune, and it's real-time 4X in the Stellaris Paradox model. So you know what? I'll play through this campaign, and then I'm gonna play one as the Fremen on. Because I want to see what the Fremen skills are like, and then, well, let me save first, and then I want to try one of the harder that they just added recently, the Conquest, a long-lasting campaign in Northern Hemisphere of Arrakis. Right now they just have the 3 main houses involved with that. I'll maybe try and use Carino. Yeah, I definitely want to check out either the Smugglers or the Fremen next. And then we'll see what happens. So thanks for joining, and be back on hopefully soon. See you guys.